Tonight on Raw, Bret the Hitman Hart returns to confront Vince McMahon. We have 4 Elimination Chamber matches to decide who will be competing for the title at the next pay-per-view. And William Shatner hosts and does a great job. February 1st, 2010. This is your Raw review from Big Al and the Kick-Ass Wrestling Show.
What you want? What you want?
Hitman Hart finally returned, making his second appearance in the WWE to confront Vince McMahon. Bret came out at the very end of the show. He called out Vince. Vince had some awful things to say about Bret. No personality, made fun of him a little bit. The worst thing he probably said was that he wasn't going to induct Stu Hart into the Hall of Fame because he didn't deserve it, which prompted Bret to say, "You couldn't lace up my father's jockstrap." So they went at it for a little bit in the ring. I thought it was good. The chemistry between them is very good. The crowd was not hot for this. I was a little disappointed. The crowd really didn't get as into it as they should. They don't give Bret the respect that he deserves. They really don't give him the type of pop, the type of ovation that you would expect from a star. But a lot of them probably don't remember Bret, or they don't care as much as some of, I guess, us older wrestling fans might. But I thought Bret did a great job. Eventually, he had Vince McMahon, well, he was about to put Vince McMahon in a sharpshooter when out of nowhere, Batista comes out and grabs Bret, and for a second, it almost looked like he was going to powerbomb him, which would have been terrible because we're pretty sure Bret can't withstand that. Remember, he's pretty fragile, he's been through a lot, and we've got to be careful. I cringe every time, they even do fake punches to him. I'm a little scared even when Bret is throwing punches because I don't know how much he could take. He seemed to hold up pretty well. We'll have to wait to see what he had to say. But he took some swings. He took some punches. They didn't powerbomb him or anything serious, and they're not going to be able to. But for what it was worth, I thought Bret got in there, and he showed that he could still wrestle. I don't know if he's going to do too many moves, if he's going to be as exciting, but he can still pound a little bit. He could still take a little bit of punishment. So we should see that match from Bret and Vince at WrestleMania. And I think Bret can take it, but I was a little scared, and I hope they are cautious. At the end of everything, Vince spit in Bret's face while Batista was holding him, and that was the end of Raw. I wonder what they're doing with Batista here. Is he going to be involved in this feud now? Is he going to go after Bret himself? Or is this just sort of like Vince McMahon's maybe personal bodyguard? If that's the case, that's fine, because it takes Batista out of the main event. It takes him out of any meaningful match at WrestleMania, and that makes me happy. I'm not a big fan of Goldberg Jr., okay? I'm sorry. So Bret Hart, great job in his return to Raw for the second time. I thought the ending was wonderful. Well done. Next thing we want to talk about, Elimination Chamber. There were 4 Elimination Chamber matches. They were all short, but they were all decent for the most part. The Big Show was disqualified when he hit a ref on accident. He was screaming for about 10 minutes after the match that it wasn't on purpose. But he got disqualified, sending Kofi Kingston into Elimination Chamber and a shot at that title. We already know Sheamus is in it, of course. Sheamus is the WWE Champion. Randy Orton got in when he defeated HBK. HBK is just having a tough time in the ring lately, and it's going to be interesting to see where this all leads, what Shawn is going to have to do. I saw someone say it in a chat room or on the Twitter, is this going to lead to maybe HBK putting his career on the line against The Undertaker's streak? I hope Shawn doesn't retire, but that is one match I think everybody would like to see, and there'd be a lot on the line, so we'll see where that ends up going. Anyway, Shawn lost his match. Orton is in. Ted DiBiase winning his match against Mark Henry. I don't know how Mark Henry got in the Elimination Chamber qualifier, but he did. Jack Swagger getting beat up by Triple H. Triple H is in it as well. And I think, oh yeah, that's right. I always seem to forget this guy. John Cena won the opening match of Raw by beating Cody Rhodes. Totally forgot about you, John. I'm sorry. You're going to be in the main event as well. Congratulations. Okay, but the Elimination Chamber matches were good. I thought they were entertaining for the most part, but they were too short. And I would love to see Orton and Michaels in an Iron Man match. I was tweeting that today. I really want to see that. I know I'm not going to get my wish, but that was a good match, and I would wish that it could be a lot longer, like some of the old school matches, but maybe I'm just being picky again. Elimination Chamber was good tonight, though. I thought all those matches were quality. Edge returned. Well, he returned last night, but he returned to Raw tonight with his Royal Rumble victory, and Sheamus comes out. When he starts making remarks about what champion he's going to face, he seems to be implying, Edge, that he would take on Sheamus. Sheamus didn't take too kindly to that. He came out, had some words for him, and when the smoke cleared, Edge speared Sheamus. And it was a good spear. I don't like Sheamus, as you guys know. He's a terrible WWE champion, and I'm not interested in him one bit. So I hope that he is not in the main event at WrestleMania. I hope he drops his title at Elimination Chamber, and I hope that Edge finds a better opponent. I liked Edge's promo in the beginning. I especially liked that he called out Dennis Miller, that he mentioned TMZ. He was cutting a great promo. Edge is a good promo guy, and he has great chemistry in the ring. Did you see the posing and the way that he was putting on a show in the ring after he speared Sheamus? He's a great entertainer, always has been. So, glad to see Edge back, and please don't wrestle Sheamus. Last, but of course not least, William Shatner was the host of Raw tonight, and he did a great job. I thought William Shatner did phenomenal. He did this one bit, which I think had pretty much every wrestling fan laughing, where he was singing or voicing, I should say reading, the lyrics for all the WWE themes, for some select themes. He did John Cena's theme, which was great. He did Kofi Kingston's theme, which as soon as I saw that he was about to do that, I was laughing. So that was great. Did Shawn Michaels' theme. I want to see more of that. They made it look like he has a CD of these songs. If so, you need to make them available because I know there's a market for it. So William Shatner did a great job. He came out at the end, introduced Bret. I wish they would have used him more. They only used him in 3 segments. They could have used him a lot more, 4 segments with Vince in the beginning. And they were short and sweet. But I like William Shatner. I like what he did. Could have done more, but he was a great host. That brings us to the Raw grade. Raw was solid. It was good, but I don't think I would go so far as to give it an A. So for Bret Hart returning and having a very intense segment with Vince McMahon at the end, for 4 great matches, I don't want to say great but short wrestling matches, and for William Shatner being a phenomenal host, I give tonight's WWE Raw a B+ again. Yes, that is the same grade I've given it on 2 other occasions, but I think Raw has been very good lately. I think Raw has been a good show for the most part. Of course, nothing's perfect. We could pick out flaws all day in wrestling if we want, but overall, I think Raw has been stepping up their game, and the last few weeks I thought have been enjoyable since January 4th. As a matter of fact, I think Vince is really stepping it up. So I think Raw has been pretty good, but it still is not that A show. I'm waiting for the complete package before I give it an A, and I don't think it has arrived yet. So tonight's show was good. I was going to give it a lower grade, a B- or so, until the ending with Vince and Bret and Batista, which I thought was phenomenal. So overall, B+ for this edition of Raw. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. This has been Big Al. Thank you for joining us. Watch this week's episode of the Kick-Ass Wrestling Show. My friends came in here, and they had a good time. I'm glad they enjoyed themselves. But there's going to be hell to pay next week on the Kick-Ass Wrestling Show. So I suggest you subscribe and check back. Things are going down. Things are going to happen. Thank you for joining us. Take care. Good night.